Yeah. What up, my people? I go by the name T-Rhyme, aka the stylish rapper, aka Conscious, aka Fire, aka what I say, BBB. You watching Davcadotv. Keep it locked. Don't go nowhere. Hey.
After I've completed school,
yeah,
and then I had to jump right into rehearsals for the VGMAs and then come back on the VGMAs. I've been very busy, so I think that took a toll on me. Started my senior high school tour as well,
yeah,
in conjunction with the activism of climate change and speaking to these kids about how it's very important to be knowledgeable about these things. And so it really took a toll on me. What kicked it in eventually was, you know, the cluster. So many people, and I think I'm very allergic to dust as well, and all those ones. So it just kicked in finally, and
Charlie, you have worked, and congratulations.
So I'm very grateful, man. On the night,
well, yeah,
not even nobody could tell.
Yeah, that you weren't well.
That's why I had that white thing. If you guys caught a picture that had me, the AC was entering. You know that I was, I was actually taking my meds right there. The evening meds, I
heard that you're popping pills even, at the auditorium as well. Unbelievable. But even the dedication to want to still attend.
Of course.
Such an event, because someone would have said, but if you're not well, you could have allowed your team to go and represent
you. The thing is, I really have great respect for Ghana Music Awards, and it's obvious. Everybody can see the energies I put into it, because that is Ghana Music Awards. In as much as we want to grow out of our country in terms of height and enter into the Grammys or the Latin Awards or the BETs, etc., we have to understand that those awards are also local awards to the Americans.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's really important for us to harness ours so that our people, because without Ghana Music Awards, then what?
Exactly.
You know, so I wouldn't love to be at home if I have to be there. You know, even on days that I'm not performing, which was last year, I attended and I presented an award, you know, so I cherish it, to be honest.
Regardless of what happens, you still cherish
the
Ghana Music Awards.
Of course. It's Ghana Music Awards, as the name states.
Yeah.
And I'm a musician, so if I'm not getting involved, then I'm doing myself. I'm not doing anybody else.
Is it also because for a lot of people, they've said that if you really want to go out there, you also need to get that home credit. You know, and having an award locally, especially for you like this Artist of the Year, that's what also puts you in conversations out there to get all the big nominations.
I want to rub it off on the home credit. Just keep it on the home credit and that's it. Because the award is specifications. The credit is broad. You know, you have to be able to, you went out there to host a thing at Global Citizen. You didn't start your career over there. You have had to prove yourself worthy of every standard globally by harnessing and getting your credits from the ground. So I categorize that into being credit, not only the awards. So I have that mindset of making sure that they say you dance a yard before you dance abroad. You know, that's an adage.
Dance a yard before you dance abroad. That's deep, actually. Now, you got 13 nominations. So even way ahead of, you know, the awards night, everybody was excited because you were the highest nominee. I'm sure for you, you probably had an idea of which categories you're going to win. Were you expecting to win 6 or more?
Believe me, when the nominations came out and then we had that number of nominations, I was grateful. I was grateful because I was just like, I know I've done a lot of work. I'm still working. I'm work in progress. But when it came out and I was stopping and I'm like, okay, then that's what it is. That actually came to show me that the work that we're putting is actually, you know, so I was happy because I've never worked that hard, especially coupling it up with school. Believe me, it gets to points where I'm like, of course, I'm tough. So I just breathe it out and I'm on to the next one. So I was grateful that the fans are going to be very happy. And myself, I'm going to be grateful for being able to represent a people, you know, not only my core fans, but Ghana as a whole. And that was the result of it. The 13 nominations was a result. I think that's my highest nomination so far, coming from an artist like Stonebwoy, who has like a reggae dancehall background. Believe you me, I'm not going to turn my back on the fact that I am a reggae dancehall artist coming in from the inception, and then I spread my wings to show the world that I am a talent, of course. You know, so that's a big achievement that I was grateful for. And to win, whichever came my way, I was going to be grateful, you know, because I've already been nominated. And I think that nominations, like I've always said, you guys can go back and play my tapes on awards. I've always noted and reiterated to people that, listen, to be nominated alone, because remember where we come from Ashaiman, the street of Ashaiman, where we love to do this, and it's brought us up into nominations. So that alone should be well credible enough for you to respect an artist for that.
Yeah.
Because when an artist is nominated for the Grammys, that alone is the standard. Because for you to be able to get through to the Grammys, you would have to go through the selection process where you become, you know, eligible for nomination. Even that process goes out there where you find out that top artists who have won it over and over and over also get involved by posting that, you know, which is a requirement, basically. So I pray that it gets to a point where Ghana Music Awards will be revered and respected so much so that even a nomination would make you know that you have worked so hard. Because out of so many artists, if you do get a nomination in a category, especially the coveted Artist of the Year category, it should definitely give you some honor. You shouldn't, you shouldn't let anybody talk cheap on you, you know. So that's how I see the whole, you know. So winning it eventually is also like, of course, I had to win it.
Exactly. You know? Now, Artist of the Year, if we look at the categories, I'm sure if you were talking about which one to win, that was up the totem pole. Artist of the Year. There was a lot of talk, Stonebwoy. It was literally between you and King Promise. And I'm sure you heard from both factions, adducing evidence, facts, etc., to give reasons why you should have won or he should have won. When all that was happening, how were you taking that?
The conversations became very interesting around who should win. And it was tailored down to two artists, that is between Stonebwoy and King Promise. Meanwhile, at the point where I actually chanced into it properly, because remember I had only done my exams and done a week into the VGMA, so I would be hot, basically. You know what I'm saying? So, and also it's my final paper, so easy here and there, project works, trust me. So I didn't really get into the convo proper. We were only doing our best as a team, you know, posting what we had to post, you know, the social media people were getting involved, and the fan base, tremendous work, like, you know, and the fan base really took the mantle right from the scratch up until when I actually started paying attention. That's the last week to the VGMAs, and even during that period, I was supposed to be rehearsing and dealing with this flu that I've caught as well. What happened? I was like, everywhere is buzzing. King Promise, Stonebwoy, buzzing. One thing I felt was like, I wish that attention would be, you know, spread out across all the nominees. Because it wasn't only a Stonebwoy and a King Promise.
But Stonebwoy, you know this happens all the time.
Yes, I know, but that's why I'm speaking to it, you know, so that because this is my mentality, so I believe I can share that. You know, I felt that, okay, if it's spread across all the 5 or 6 of us, then it will now become a thing of facts. You know, limiting it to 2 artists, which would definitely become the norm eventually, almost always takes away the fact that all these people have worked. And it's not only these 2 guys who have worked. You that's what I'm saying. So in the heat of it, I was just feeling some way that, because I put myself in the shoes of, okay, what if I was not the one being out, what if Stonebwoy was not there?
In the top 2.
In the top 2. That would be disheartening to be like, you guys, don't you think we all worked to be in that category?
But there are some who have worked more than others.
Yes, exactly.
And the fans determine. So if they decided that these are the 2 people that we've seen do the most work.
I don't think the fans determine the top 2 who should contend amongst themselves.
Who do you think determines?
Why I say that is that is not for the fans to determine. The fans are only supposed to propagate, project the works of their artists under the year of review. That's what I think they determine. They don't, and then vote as well. And then loud it up so much so that people can really get to see the facts, not opinions. Because opinions are like noses, everybody has one. And opinions are not fact, opinions are not truth. It's just how you see what. That is why an organization like the VGMAs would have criteria set down both in front of house, both inside the board and the academy, so that now it is not a matter of I love you or I hate you or you're beautiful. It becomes a matter of what fits the boxes, aka the criteria that we have set. So when we look at this look at it like that, I think conversation, although would end up becoming two people at the top, when we find some time to span it across, then you can know that, okay, I've been eliminated by fact.
Yeah.
You see, because it only just goes like bang, top two, discussion, whereby then towards the latter part, people stop, then you feel like artists will feel like, okay, I did that. Then it breeds a little bit of resentment and then some sort of unhealthy competition, whereby, you know, we all know.
Did you feel that?
No, I didn't feel that because, listen to me, I've been here for some number of years and my thought process is different. How I see things is definitely different from how everybody sees it. That's why I hardly speak, that's why I hardly talk. You know, I love to listen and, you know, soak it in and analyze it the best way I can. But if I do, I want to use a Rotarian, you know, quote. I check if it's the fact. I check if it's the truth. I check if it's hurting somebody or not. You know, all these things before I make a move.
Well, the facts that your fans were putting out and pundits who were speaking on your behalf was the fact that you worked on a full album. Yeah. And you had very quality songs on there. They didn't understand why, for some reason, your album was being compared to an artist who had probably risen to the top with 1 or 2 songs in the year under review, even if he's a fantastic artist. Yeah. And so they didn't get why that comparison. Did you feel that way too?
The comparison is like opinions. Everybody can get up and feel like they're somebody's size. We see that every day. It's in our normal life. Somebody can go through, be like, hey, you know me, hey, me, my father, only banking on the fact that his uncle was rich before. You know, we get that. It's a normal Ghanaian life. But that is because they believe in themselves so much. You know what I'm saying? But it is only somebody who would think it through a notch. Somebody who's an honest person, somebody who's a truthful person, a factual person, not an opinionated person, that to put down the clause, will put down, that's what I'm saying, if there was no criteria to it, then it becomes a booga booga street vibe, who uses the most tactics. But here lies the case, we are almost forgetting that there is a criteria to it, to how, who wins what qualifies to be nominated and selected. So whilst people were shouting around that I observed, and probably pushing the narrative of how whatever should be, I think that they were not really looking at
the facts.
The fact and the criteria enough.
Okay.
To get, and in totality.
But they argued based on the criteria.
Of course, but that's what I'm saying. If you looked at it based on that same criteria, you will know where to argue, to what limit you should argue to.
What do you think won you Artist of the Year?
What won me the Artist of the Year is because everything Portfolio said was true.
Which one exactly? Portfolio said a lot of things.
And those are all the things.
A number of days.
Those are all the things. So I want the people to go look out so that they use this opportunity to check who he is and it grows that community as well.
Is that why you bigged him up on stage?
Why shouldn't I big him up on stage? When I don't know this guy from Adam.
Oh, you don't?
Who decides to actually speak truth to the industry, and I acknowledge it. Given this opportunity on TV, I know the whole world is watching. I am somebody who loves the truth. I was grown up in a disciplinarian home where I'll be caned for little to nothing a lie. And I'll be read the Bible. Is it in Revelation somewhere or something? He said, all liars shall find themselves in the lake of fire. So
Revelations what?
No, I think
support your president.
Look at it. Yeah. So believe you me, I'm that person who thinks so through it before I lie.
So everybody else was lying if they weren't speaking for you?
No, but speaking for me, who am I? Speak for the fact. Okay. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
And everybody lied eventually, since they didn't speak for me. So what did the end result give them, if you have to tailor it that way?
I see. Baba Sadick is a very influential media person and an influential industry person. He thought it should have gone to King Promise. Were you disappointed? I know that you guys have had your relationship here and there, but were you disappointed that for someone as influential as him, like you said, he wasn't speaking to maybe the facts of the matter?
No, I wasn't disappointed. He believes that he is an opinionated person, and opinions are like gnosis. It's as simple as that. Everybody has it.
Everybody has it.
Exactly. And eventually, I think the results have taught him that he doesn't hold any water when it comes to the reality, and it stays as an opinion.
How so? This is another person who also hosts his own award event, of course.
And the last time, what did he do?
What happened?
Check it out.
What happened?